Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is staring at a blank page, a blank canvas, or a blank screen. And within seconds, ideas start flooding in. Across the street, someone else stares at the very same blank page, and nothing comes. Same species. Same basic brain structure. So what is actually different at a neurological level between these two people? For decades, scientists assumed it was intelligence. They were wrong. The real answer is stranger, and it means almost anyone can develop at least part of it. The first thing researchers ruled out was raw IQ. Studies comparing IQ with creative output found a correlation, but only up to a point. Roughly an IQ of 120. Above that threshold, more IQ does not predict more creativity. Some of the most creatively prolific people in history had IQ scores that were certainly high, but completely unremarkable for the fields they worked in. So if it isn't raw processing power, what is it? The first real difference researchers discovered involves something called associative thinking. In brain scanning studies, when most people are given a word, for example, chair, their brains activate a small, tightly connected cluster of related concepts. Sitting, furniture, table, but in highly creative individuals, the very same word activates a much wider, more loosely connected network. Chair might also activate electric, musical, throne, wheelchair, game of. The connection spread much farther and much faster. This wider activation isn't random. And here's the part that should unsettle you. Just a little. It's the same pattern of brain activity observed during the early stages of certain psychiatric conditions. Specifically, conditions involving altered dopamine signaling. The dopamine system is partly responsible for filtering which associations are promoted into conscious awareness, and which ones are suppressed before you ever notice them. In most brains, that filter is fairly strict. In highly creative brains and in some psychiatric conditions, the filter is much looser. More associations get through. Most of them are useless noise. But every once in a while, one of those seemingly useless associations becomes a genuinely original connection. One that nobody has consciously made before. That's not magic. That's a filter setting. So is creativity simply a slightly broken filter? Not quite. Because there's a second ingredient. And without it, a loose filter creates chaos, not genius. The second ingredient is what researchers call cognitive flexibility under evaluation. In plain language, it's the ability to generate a huge number of ideas, most of them bad, and then deliberately switch into a completely different mental mode, to ruthlessly evaluate, refine, and discard almost all of them. Brain scans show these are two completely different networks. The default mode network, responsible for idea generation, daydreaming, and loose associations. And the executive control network, responsible for focus, evaluation, and discipline. In most people, these two networks are somewhat in conflict. When one becomes highly active, the other usually becomes quieter. But in highly creative individuals, studies have found something remarkable. These two networks show unusually strong connectivity with each other. They can switch back and forth or even operate together far more efficiently than average. This is the real difference, not more imagination, not a higher IQ. A brain that can generate ideas wildly, loosely, almost recklessly, and then, on demand, switch into a cold, critical discipline mode, to filter that flood down to the tiny fraction that's actually worth keeping. And here's the genuinely hopeful twist. Unlike IQ, which is largely fixed, this switching ability between generation mode and evaluation mode is trainable. Studies on improvisational musicians, people who spend years practicing rapid cycles of generating ideas and immediately evaluating them, have shown measurable increases in exactly this kind of brain connectivity. Even in adults who never showed any obvious creative gift when they started. The person staring at a blank page who freezes isn't necessarily missing a creativity gene. In many cases, they're trapped in evaluation mode from the very beginning. They're judging every idea before it's even fully formed. And that shuts down the generative network before it ever has the chance to do its work. The person overflowing with ideas has often, through temperament, training, or years of practice, learned to let those two mental modes operate separately first and combine them only afterward. Which means the real question isn't, am I creative? It's this. Which of these two networks have you been training your entire life? And which one have you never given the chance to switch on? In the next video, we'll explore a specific 20-minute daily exercise that, according to multiple scientific studies, measurably strengthens this switching ability. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.